Hi, I'm Greg Hodson, author of the book Content That Delivers. Thanks for joining me on another episode. Content that you'll find in my book, Content That Delivers, available at hodsondirect.com for $11. I pay for shipping. It might be a great investment for you if you're in PR, marketing, communications, production, you're at school, you want to be a filmmaker, you want to be a digital content producer, you want to get involved in developing content, creating content that will deliver for your client, whether that's money, whether that's leads, whether that's product sales, attendance, whatever it is, content that delivers. You'll find out from draft to delivery inside this book. Now let me start the clock and let's get going. Today's episode is the director, how important that person is. Everybody wants to be a director. Oh, I call the shots, I do this. But let me tell you something. More times than not, the director is over a lot more than just standing on a set and pointing his finger and saying, that's what I want. A real director is someone who understands the entire process and the vision of the client and the vision of the script and the vision, what has to happen so that it delivers results, okay? So it's the director's job, along with the producer, but the director is the one working with the crew on the lights, the sound, and the cameras to make sure everything is captured at its best so that when you hang it on the script in post-production, it'll deliver the most powerful piece of content that you can have, whether you're going to deliver it on Facebook, whether you're going to deliver it in primetime broadcast television, or you're going to have it at an event and play it in for all your sales associates at the big sales meeting. No matter what it is, you want to create content that delivers. In order to do that, you should have someone who is the director. Now, what does the director do? They learn how to capture images, right, that support the creative vision. Well, the director does design shots, or should at least design the shots. Now, if you're a lazy director, you let the camera operator set the sticks up and frame shots wherever they are, and you just bless them and say, yeah, that's great. But a director should really get involved and help the camera person and the crew point the lens, the right lens, frame it in such a way that it captures exactly what it is you want. Is it going to be a close-up, a medium shot, a wide shot? If it's a wide shot, it's going to have a lot of other things in the shot. Is that important, or is it a distraction? You want to zoom in. You have to manage the shot selection in the field. There's only so much you can do in post-production. I'll get to the post-production in future episodes, but believe me, there's many editors that have quit because of the lack of direction and lack of good capture in the field, okay? So the director calls the shots and frames the shots, and they pretty much should make the final decision. It may be a collaborative effort with the producer, but on a small budget, medium-sized budget, the director is the producer, so they pretty much know what they want to get. A director needs to know what they want. I mean, a director needs to do their homework. They have to look at the script and understand what's the purpose of the script, what's the purpose of the content, and you have to know what you want. You can't just go out on a shoot for 10 hours and shoot a bunch of content, and then you get back in the edit bay, and then nothing works. You have to know what you want. So it helps if before you go out, the director will know what they want so you can make decisions. Don't let the audio guy, the lighting guy, and the camera guy, gal, of course, decide for you what the shot's going to be. Know what you want and, more importantly, what you need so that when you're done with production, you can go into post-production with the imagery shot the way you like it, lit the way you like it, audio captured the way you like it, and performed by a talent, if you will. Directing talent's a whole nother episode. But just directing the lens on a shoot is very important. What's it going to look like? That's the director's decision. You have to understand that, okay? And you have to have the courage to change your mind, okay? Just because you said and you spent this time designing a shot this way, designing it this way, designing it that way, and it's not quite working, well, then change your mind. Don't just do it because you're embarrassed or do it because you spent 30 minutes designing a shot. If it's not going to work, change your mind. I was on a location shooting some video. We were outside. It was in the Midwest, and the sun was sinking because it was winter. We designed a shot to be a certain way. When we got out there, we started looking at each other saying, you know what, that sun's setting pretty quick. And we had designed the shot. The director wanted the shot this way. But you know what? If we did it that way, we didn't have a big enough budget to have a grip truck and a bunch of HMIs and 5Ks. So we were going to have to chase the sun. It would have ruined the whole production. We wouldn't have had anything. So the director and the producer got together and said, you know what? Let's just move the set this way. We totally redesigned what we had planned, but you know what? We made the decision, and you know what? The shot worked because the sun was setting behind us. We were able to manage the lighting on the faces of the people in the shot as opposed to having them backlit, sun dropping. There is no face because they're all in the shadows and they're all dark. It would have ruined it. So a director has the ability and should change their mind should it not be working, okay? Producer needs to be in agreement with the director, okay? But as a director, you say, you know what, this shot's not going to work. The producer should believe you if you say it with confidence, right? And you got to work well with the crew. You can't be a prima donna. You can't walk on a set and say, I'm the director. This is how it's going to be done. Let me tell you, I've been doing this for over 35 years. And I've worked with hundreds of camera people and crew. And most of them have been really good. There's always one or two that just drive you crazy. And in one time, I actually fired the camera op and took the camera and shot it myself. That's a whole nother story. It's kind of fun, but I'm not going to tell it here. But the point is, you have to work well with a crew, because if you don't, they're not going to perform. They're not going to go the extra mile. That light's okay. The shot's okay. The audio's okay. Might have a few hits. Ran out of battery, ran out of this. You know, there's more capture cards in the truck, but you know what? That's a long walk. If you're sweet and you're nice and you're professional and you work with the crew, and guess what? Here's the key. Can I give you a key about a director? Listen to your crew. Sometimes the camera operator has a better idea. Sometimes the PA has a better idea. Sometimes the production coordinator has a better idea. Listen to the better idea. You designed a shot this way, and then the makeup artist comes up and goes, hey, Greg, did you see what's behind you? You turn around, there's the Riviera. Oh my God, I didn't see the ocean. I was so fixed on this shot, I didn't see that shot. But I listened to the makeup artist or the coordinator or the producer, the camera person, and you know what? If you leverage their talent and their skill set, you're going to have a better shoot, and you're going to be a better director for it because you listen to the people that know their stuff. Don't be a know-it-all, okay? Now, understand how the images are going to work with the final product. You may be a great director and design great shots, but if they don't hang on the script that you wrote, it's for naught. I was on a shoot once, and the producer talent was determined to get a shot from the top of a hill of the city below. They spent an hour going up and down, bringing that camera equipment to the top of the hill to shoot a picture. Guess what? That shot never made it to the piece. Why? It didn't have any purpose being shot. It didn't help the story at all, so it was on the cutting room floor. So you have to know if the shots are going to work and design shots that are going to work. If you have all the shots that you need and you still have time, then go ahead and climb a mountaintop. But until you have the shots you need to deliver the content that's going to work and activate a response, don't go out shooting all this creative stuff until you got what you need. Spend the creativity on the shots you need for your script, okay? Field directing, out in the field. It's a challenge. There's so many moving parts from a studio. Studio is pretty controlled. You have air conditioning, you have water, you have access to a toilet, makeup. Everybody's pretty comfortable on the set. You know, a lot of people sit down while the guy's up here talking, like my guys are all sitting down right now. Why? Because I'm doing all the talking, everything's lit, it sounds good. It's comfortable here. But if we're in the desert, we're out in the middle of nowhere in a cornfield, or we're shooting up overseas somewhere, it's uncomfortable, it's humid, the sun is crazy, the camera doesn't work because of the humidity. There's so many things that can be uncomfortable there. Make sure you know what you're doing and you plan and prep for that, and the director understands the conditions that you're going to be working in, and be sensitive to the crew. If it's hot out there, let them sit, let them drink water. Don't be such a maniacal director that your crew's going to fold up on you, because it happens and it'll ruin the production. So director has to be really smart and work with the crew and understand what they need, so that the camera person doesn't say, hey, I think there's a great shot over there, and they spend 3 hours getting a shot of a flower when that had nothing to do with your script that you had to go home with, the content that's going to hang on that script, okay? Camera position, we're running out of time, so these are things that you can find out in my book, Content That Delivers. So, wrap it up. The crew, work with the crew, understand what you need, understand how to put the lens where it needs to be, frame the shot where it needs to be, change your mind if you need to change your mind. And you know what? At the end of the day, you're going to be very pleased with the content that you captured in the field or in the studio.